Hi friends. So we are learning about graph, and it's very good always if you make a mini project using the thing which you have learned. So as part of this video, the previous video explained all the basics, the terminology, the type of the graphs, basically its usage. Then we created the simple graph. We did the depth first traversal and the width first traversal. Everything. As part of this, what we are doing is imagine you have to build a airline system which has different cities. So if you have to go from one city to another, how many intermediate flights you might need to take? For example, from Mumbai to New York, what you need to do is you can go through England, London, you can come through Dubai, and there are several other like Shanghai and several other cities. So how would you decide, right? So this particular project would open up your concepts of how the airline actually works, how they leverage graphs to connect the cities and figure out the paths basically. So what I did is we learned about the vertex in the graph. So we our vertex, I named it as city. So city is an object which has some fields. So you have a name and the code, and then the list of the connected cities. For example, you start from Mumbai. Now you don't have a flight from Mumbai to Lahore, so that kind of connectivity is not there, but you have from Mumbai to London. So that kind of one node is connected, or one vertex is connected to whatever they are called as adjacent cities or connected cities. So this is what is defined here. So whenever you want to add city, what you would do is you would pass the name of the city and the code SFO or BOM for Mumbai, NY for New York, and things like that. So this would add your cities in the graph, and then to add the connectivity from one city to another, you would have these edges called as edges, which we learned before. I have explained. If you just jump back to the video in this playlist, and you will be able to figure out. But in short, the connectivity means from Devas you cannot go to San Francisco directly. So from Devas you need to go to Indore. From Indore you need to go to Mumbai. From Mumbai to New York, and then gradually from New York you would go to San Francisco. So this is how the path basically is being defined. So we did traversal using two ways, like the width depth first and the width first. So we started, if we need to find the path from Devas, where we can go, also from New York, both ways. So we'll be printing it. Now there is find depth, depth first path, wherein we have defined here. So we are using the queue data structure. So first we will add the first city, which is Devas, and then we will mark it as visited. Then we will figure out all the connected city, and if they are not visited, we will add it in queue. So once the queue is formed, we would be able to print out the entire path. In the find depth first, we are trying to do it recursively. So I have explained that in detail in a separate video how the depth first things works. So recursively means first we'll go to Devas, and then we'll find the next city, the adjacent city. If it's not visited, we'll again call this function, and then it would figure out the next city. Again, it would go on loop until and unless the adjacent cities got finished or gets finished, or if they all are visited. If it's a cyclic thing, we don't want to get inside the infinite loop. So that's why we would have the visited array, which is a boolean. So this is it, like we are connecting city. And then yes, I created a method called as the city lookup. So what happens here is, for example, when you are trying to create a route or connect cities, so you need to make sure if both of these cities exist. Otherwise, so you have a method which is called a city lookup. So whenever you're passing the city code, for example, SFO, so does it really exist, or any object which with that exist? Otherwise, you would return the null. So this is how the city lookup happens. So you're looking up the city, and then each city would, by default get an index, and we are using this index when we are trying to do, the visited, if some city has been visited or not. Just to keep record of that, we would by default assign the index as soon as we add the city. We are not like yeah, so we are just getting the index in the public constructor. We are doing that. So when we advertise or add city, we are auto incrementing it from 0 to whatever is the number of vertices, and that is internal. So that helps in taking care of the visited thing. So basically, let's run this airline thing and let's see. So first we printed the depth first path from city Devas. So if you start from Devas, you need to go to Indore, Mumbai, then you can go to New York, and from there you can go to all this. So this is depth first. From New York, you can travel this way, and if you try to find the BFS, which is width first, this is how from Devas, immediate connecting cities Indore, then Mumbai, then like this. So this is, and there are some edges which are not connected. So from New York you cannot go to Devas because probably this is one way flight from Devas to Indore. So you cannot come back even to Indore. From New York, you can go to Mumbai. So that is pretty much it about this airline project. We took the example of cities and we tried to connect all those cities using our method called as connect city. Then once the cities has been added and then the edges were being added, we were able to traverse them from one city to another city using depth first and the width first approach. I hope this was useful, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my YouTube video. And this video, like the code has been shared in my GitHub repository. So I've shared the link. So please go to the code, check out the repository, star mark in the repository so that you can also refer it later. Bye.